Hey everyone, how's it going? CV Tech here. Making this little video discussing why I use Boost Mobile over Metro PCS. Now, sometimes I do get comments, especially when it comes to the LGG Stylo, saying, that I should buy the Metro PCS version because it's got better RAM, better ROM, NFC, all that good stuff. And so I want to explain why I am with Boost Mobile rather than Metro PCS. And there is a couple of reasons um, why I do stay with Boost rather than switching to a company like Metro PCS, where you can buy unlocked phones from companies like Blue, stuff like that, where you can buy a bunch of different kind of phones for low prices and stuff like that to use that are unlocked. So, why do I use Boost Mobile? One is the coverage in my area. Now, I know that Metro PCS, T Mobile, they have a lot of coverage everywhere. When you look at the coverage maps compared to Sprint's coverage maps, it does dominate, especially in the state of North Carolina. Unfortunately, the one reason why I do not that I am with Boost Mobile instead of Metro PCS is coverage. Um, I have contacted Metro and T-Mobile, which I know they're both on the same towers and all that stuff. Um, and I have no service here in my house. Now that's main importance. Yes, they do support Wi-Fi calling, but a lot of times Wi-Fi calling, I've tried that with T-Mobile prepaid, and sometimes texts don't come through to hours later. Sometimes the phone calls seem very muffled and distorted, just don't sound very good. So Wi-Fi calling doesn't always work good for me. So coverage with Boost Mobile in my area, I get between 1 and 3 bars of service, and I never drop phone calls. And I only have 3G. If Boost or Sprint was to boost their LTE towers a half a mile, I would be in LTE. But maybe they will eventually. I did contact Metro and T-Mobile and gave them my address, and they told me that I was in a good LTE um, voice coverage area, that it showed good coverage. Now I can power on a T-Mobile phone because I do have a T-Mobile phone, prepaid phone, and when I power it on, I do get the occasional 2 bars of service. And as long as I'm not touching the phone and it's sitting in one spot, I can call out to customer service. However, it's very sporadic and it does not sound very good. And it kind of cuts in and out. And when I had it activated at one point, I had a lot of, I can't hear you, you're fading out. So that's reason number one is in my general area of my residence, out of all the areas that I can travel around here where I have LTE full service in my immediate area, nothing. I can go outside and no service. I am on only in 2G, and I've had to do all kinds of updates and networks and all kinds of stuff like that to try to get them to fix the service, but it just don't work out. So that's reason number one of why I don't have Metro PCS. It's cause of coverage. No coverage means that it's not doing me any good. Um, so yeah, that's number one. Number two is the fact of the plans. Now, I am on a pretty strict budget, and I know that Metro has some pretty good plans and all that stuff. And I do know with Metro PCS, all the taxes and fees are included into the price of their plans. And like I pulled up Metro PCS here online, and as you see right yonder, so I'm on Metro's PCS is there. $30 a month. It gives you unlimited talk, text, and 1 gigabyte of high-speed data. Now, as long as I have been with Boost Mobile, I have all their promotions. So with auto pay, I pay $30 a month, I get unlimited talk, unlimited text, unlimited data, and I get 4 gigs of high speed data. Now, of course, if you are just starting with Boost Mobile, it's $35 a month. It's 30 if you do auto pay, and you get 2 gigs of high speed data. But of course, if you make your payments on time, that does grow up to 5 gigs. So you're still going to be, so after 18 months, something like that, if you pay 18 consecutive payments, then you are going to be able to have unlimited talk, text, data with 5 gigs of high speed LTE data for $30 a month. And depending on your taxes in your area, I paid $32.70 total. So, I would have to get between the $40 and $50 plan with Metro to get what I get now with $30 a month. So yeah, $40 a month, you get 3 gigs of high speed data, and for 50, you get 5 gigabytes of high speed data. So, I can pay $5 a month extra and get 5 gigs. So I can pay $35 a month and get the extra gigabyte and have 5 gigs. So, there's a lot of reasons why. Yeah, and I do know that the LG Stylo, for example, I know that they sent Boost Mobile the stripped down version, the 8 megapixel camera versus the 13 megapixel on Metro, NFC on Metro versus no NFC on the Stylo for Boost Mobile, 1 gigabyte of RAM and 8 gigs of built-in storage on the Boost version, while you get 2 gigabytes of RAM and 16 gigabytes of onboard storage on Metro. So I do know that, of course, this is a stripped down version, and and for like $50 more when it first came out, you could bought the double the RAM, double the ROM, NFC, better camera, all that stuff that that really should have been also on Boost Mobile variants, but it didn't. The phone does have some lag. It's not the best, smoothest phone there is, but it is still really nice, and it still functions and performs good unless you really push it to the limit. And then it kind of wants to, hang up, bog up a little bit, and just don't want to work. So that's mainly the only 2 reasons why I am sticking with Boost Mobile rather than Metro PCS. Is because of the plans and whatever, and the coverage. If I had good LTE coverage in my area and great reception in my immediate area in my house, I would consider hopping over to Metro PCS to where I can buy unlocked phones that are LTE and stuff like that, and have a different option instead of being stuck buying only Boost Mobile phones. But until that happens, $30 a month for unlimited everything with 4 gigabytes of high speed data on Boost Mobile, it's really hard to change whenever you are used to paying a certain amount every single month that you can afford. So I wanted to just clarify that a little bit. I know I talked a little bit too long in this video here, but I wanted to just kind of, clarify why, I do get a lot of comments sometimes, wondering why I am with Boost Mobile and how bad Boost Mobile sucks and stuff like that. Well, it all depends on your coverage area. Metro PCS is an awesome carrier, but unfortunately in my area, I have no service. I don't call Metro junk because I have no coverage in my area, because I do know that in other areas they're swamped with coverage, which is really awesome. I know there are some areas, a lot of places in the country that don't support Sprint, Boost Mobile. It don't make them a bad carrier. It's just they don't cover every area in the nation. But here in my state, I get coverage about everywhere I go. So that's mainly the reason why I choose Boost Mobile over Metro PCS. It may change in the future depending on how towers go and how service gets. But until then, Boost Mobile all the way for me. And I really like their service, even though they can get a little annoying at times with their online. They need to get straightened out sometimes. But that's a whole different story, whole different video. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. If you have any questions or comments about anything that I said in this video, be sure to leave them in the comment section below, and I will get back with you as soon as possible. This video was helpful in any way, hit that like button. I'd really appreciate that as well. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button down below. Really appreciate that as well. Y'all have a good one. Stay tuned for the next video.